Spider-Man the Animated Series. 5 seasons and 65 episodes of pure hype. That's how long this legendary show ran, and to this day, it's still considered the absolute best adaptation of Spider-Man. And honestly, who cares that this Peter Parker didn't look exactly like his classic comic book counterpart? We loved him with all our hearts. His origin story is hardwired into our brains. An awkward high schooler who goes to a science exhibit, gets bitten by a radioactive spider, gains insane superpowers, and then tragically loses his Uncle Ben. That ultimate life lesson about power and responsibility is what turns him into the masked hero we all know and love. But where the story actually ended left most of us completely losing our minds as kids. In the later seasons, Peter becomes hyper-fixated on one single goal, finding Mary Jane. And Madam Web takes him through interdimensional portals, promising that MJ is waiting for him somewhere out there in the multiverse. And that's it. We were supposed to get the real conclusion in season 6. It was set to feature the long-awaited reunion of the two lovers in an epic showdown with a roster of villains that the writers kept top secret. Instead, the final thing we ever saw was Peter battling an evil symbiote-possessed version of himself, followed by a wholesome meeting with Stan Lee.
It's been great meeting you. Take care of yourself.
You too, Spider-Man. Farewell and good luck.
Wow, I wonder how I'm supposed to get down from here. I suppose I could wait for the Fantastic Four to drop by and give me a lift.
That's Stan Lee. He's quite a guy.
I think he's truly special.
So why were we left on such a massive cliffhanger? It all comes down to corporate contracts. Fox Kids and Marvel Films Animation originally signed a deal for exactly 65 episodes. The showrunners were dead certain they'd get renewed for more, but the network abruptly canceled the series, leaving the greatest love story of our childhood permanently unfinished. CatDog. This Nickelodeon classic, which ran for 7 years across 4 seasons, gave us one of the most absurd and unforgettable characters in animation history. The story of a two-headed cat-dog hybrid living in an absolutely chaotic world completely broke our brains, but it kept millions of kids glued to the screen. Cat and dog were inseparable. Despite being polar opposites, Cat was a sophisticated, snobby clean freak, while Dog was a hyperactive slob ready to eat literally anything in his path. This constant clash of personalities, combined with two brains constantly pulling one single body in opposite directions, always led to absolute mayhem. Naturally, every single one of us had the exact same question growing up. How on earth was this creature even born? And that's exactly the mystery the show's finale revolved around. In the final episodes, the brothers set out to find their roots. They eventually stumble upon a utopian city where cats and dogs live in a perfect harmony. And right there, they finally meet their adoptive parents, a bizarre couple consisting of a tiny green creature and a massive blue monster. They reveal that they found CatDog as a baby on their doorstep, but were separated by a freak magical whirlwind. In a twist of fate, that exact same cyclone strikes again, transporting the entire reunited family straight back to CatDog's house to celebrate. But the actual final note of this series was way more grounded and relatable. In the very last episode, Cat gets completely consumed by jealousy, feeling like their parents love Dog more. To frame his brother, Cat waits until Dog falls asleep, secretly buries their parents' trailer in a giant hole, and blames it all on Dog sleepwalking. Dog, being the naive sweetheart he is, actually believes he did it and comes clean. But instead of punishing him, the parents praise Dog for having the courage to admit his mistakes, which drives Cat even crazier. Unable to take it anymore, Cat confesses to the whole setup, and that's when the most wholesome moment happens. Their parents explain that they love them both equally and don't play favorites. Finally at peace, Cat finds his inner calm, and on this warm family goodbye, the story of this legendary character officially comes to an end. Jackie Chan Adventures. Launching back in the year 2000, Jackie Chan Adventures instantly made every single one of us wish we had those magic talismans that granted insane superpowers. The show crushed it on TV for 5 years, spanning 5 epic seasons. Let's do a quick breakdown of what Jackie's crew went through in each one. In Season 1, Jackie teams up with the ultra-secret organization Section 13 to outrun the Dark Hand Syndicate, led by Valmont. The villains are obsessed with collecting all 12 talismans to resurrect an ancient demon sorcerer, the Dragon Shindu. In the finale, the spell actually works, and the monster regains his physical form, but Jackie, along with his niece Jade and uncle, manages to defeat Shindu, turning him back into a stone statue. However, in Season 2, the dragon returns as a spirit trapped in the Netherworld, using a magical artifact called the Panku Box. He tries to open portals to unleash his demonic brothers and sisters. The season peaks when Shindu possesses Jackie himself and rewrites the Book of Ages. This completely alters reality. Demons rule the earth, and humanity forgets their past lives. Jade, who kept her memories because she had torn out a page of her own history from the book, saves the day by convincing Jackie and Uncle to fight back. With Uncle's magic, she rewrites the book back to normal, and the ancient evil is banished once again. Season 3 brings a dark chi wizard named Daolong Wang into play. In an attempt to stop him, Jackie destroys the talismans, but their magic doesn't vanish. It transfers into noble animals all over the world. Wang starts hunting them down. Since there are no dragons left on Earth, the wizard resurrects Shindu once more to take his power. But the sneaky dragon betrays his ally and steals all the power for himself. The triumph is short-lived though. Uncle seals Shindu back into stone, and Section 13 locks Wang behind bars. In Season 4, Daolong Wang's prison break attempt goes horribly wrong when he accidentally awakens the Shadow Khan King, Tarakudo. The heroes have to track down the Oni mask to stop the Shadow Clan's invasion. Meanwhile, Shindu's rebellious son from the future, Drago, arrives on the scene. His plan to save his dad fails miserably, and Drago ends up locked up by Section 13. But Drago becomes the ultimate big bad of Season 5, the final season. After escaping custody, he takes a different route and decides to absorb the demonic chi of his aunts and uncles from Season 2. Once Drago achieves God Mode power, the heroes are left with no choice but to release his father, Shindu, who is looking for payback against his treacherous son. While the two massive dragons are busy tearing the city apart, Jackie and the crew use a final spell to banish both demons into the netherworld forever. Angry Beavers. The story of two beaver brothers, Norbert and Daggett, living in a cozy dam on the lake instantly won over audiences. The secret to its success was the insane chemistry between the two leads. The older brother, Norb, was a smooth, laid-back, and cynical intellectual. The younger one, Dag, was a walking ball of chaotic, explosive energy. His head was always spinning with grand ideas, but the second Dag realized that executing his plans required actual work, his enthusiasm completely evaporated. Yet, no matter how opposite they were or how loud they fought, deep down, they were fiercely loyal and sweet-natured brothers, unless of course he pissed them off. Now the finale of this show is arguably one of the biggest dramas in animation history. We never got a logical conclusion to the story because the series was canceled due to a massive, ongoing feud between the creators and Nickelodeon's upper management. Production was constantly hit by storms, the crew was missing deadlines, and network executives kept suffocating them with strict new guidelines. Furious with the endless corporate censorship, the animators decided to go out with a bang and slam the door on their way out. They created an unofficial finale titled Bye Bye Beavers. In the episode, Norbert receives a letter stating that their show is being canceled. Norb finally confesses to his brother that he always knew they were just cartoon characters, but kept quiet so he wouldn't traumatize Daggett. The younger Beaver completely loses it, refuses to believe reality, and goes on a classical unhinged rant, promising to kick the corporate butts of those lousy creators on the other side of the screen. The episode completely shattered the fourth wall, with the voice actors using their real names and openly mocking the network's business model. Nickelodeon executives were absolutely livid. They banned the episode during the voice recording stage and canceled the show permanently, leaving the Angry Beavers without an official finale. Luckily for fans, that scandalous leaked audio track eventually made its way online anyway.
I don't want you to panic, but something different is going on.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, Rich. Observe. Our world is an illusion. The creation of a team of sensitive, gifted artists, talented voice artists.
Like you, Nick.
And like you, Richard.
Thank you.
And a few hack writers. And now, little buddy, it's all going away.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The 2003 TMNT series featured jaw-dropping animation, deep character arcs, complex storylines, and a gritty, dark tone mixed with top-tier humor. It's no exaggeration to call this show an absolute cult classic. Over 7 seasons, which wrapped up in 2009, the mutant teens went through an insane amount of adventures. They allied with April O'Neil and Casey Jones, survived brutal wars against Baxter Stockman, Hun, the Triceratons, and Karai. Throughout the plot, the Turtles destroyed multiple versions of their archenemy, and one of them decided to crash the party for the show's big finale. In the final episode of Season 7, Casey and April are finally tying the knot. The wedding gets brutally gate-crashed by Cyber Shredder, who shows up uninvited with the Foot Clan. The Turtles and all their allies engage in one massive final brawl against the digital tyrant and his ninjas. The mutants win, and the couple finally gets to exchange rings. However, Season 7 itself received a pretty lukewarm response from critics and fans alike, with many pointing out that compared to the first 5 seasons, the writing took a hit, and the sudden shift in art style and atmosphere didn't do the show any favors. But the creators had one last trick up their sleeve. The ultimate definitive period at the end of the universe's sentence came in the form of a 2009 TV movie called Turtles Forever. Just imagine the sheer epicness in the final battle. The Turtles, Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, and Krang from the nostalgic 1987 cartoon team up with the brothers Splinter and Karai from the gritty 2003 universe. And for the ultimate fan service, the original black and white Turtles from the 1984 Mirage comics join the fray. All three generations of heroes unite to take down the ultimate Utrom Shredder from 2003 and save the entire fabric of reality before returning to their respective dimensions. Even though the crossover got mixed reviews upon release, for die-hard fans, this final goodbye was the ultimate childhood dream come true. And that's pretty much it. If you want to see more videos like this, just let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. See y'all in the next one.